morning and happy Sunday. It is April 12th today. Camille is back in the streaming studio.
Back in the studio.
Not out at the Hy-Vee today, although I know you had a great time yesterday.
Yeah.
Getting to meet people, getting to program weather radios. But it's always nice when you're back in the studio.
Yeah.
It's hard to stream with just one person.
And this was Rebecca's first time. I've had to do it a few times when you've been gone.
Yeah.
So she felt a little bit of the potential difficulties of not having somebody to just bounce off of.
It's tricky, but
yes.
I know you had a great time yesterday.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys got into.
So we did live weather during the 8, and once we were done with the show, did the little show that you saw yesterday, and then we just had a very steady group of people coming in and helped program either radios that they purchased there, radios that they already had, or they just came out to say hi, which was amazing to see everybody. And thank you to everybody who did come out and said hi, came up to get your weather radio program. We really want to help you guys be as prepared for the severe weather season as we can, and that is an awesome opportunity for us to do so. But we sold out of weather radios yesterday.
Wow.
Which Hy-Vee had overstocked themselves in preparation for this event, and we still were out of weather radios about 20 minutes left to go when we were there. So,
wow. A lot of people getting prepared.
Yeah.
Which is good news.
Yeah. I mean, this week especially is going to be one of those weeks. A weather radio will be vital in having to make sure that you are weather aware and weather ready, because an active week ahead.
Yeah, we're going to kind of use today's show as a little bit of, if you've got questions about any of the severe weather that we are anticipating, feel free. We can see our Facebook chat up on our computers. We can see our YouTube chat. So if you've got any questions for Camille, we can try our best to answer them so you can be as prepared as possible for tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, anything else possibly coming this week.
Yes.
Because it is going to be a wet week.
Yes.
It's going to be a little bit of a pay attention week.
Yes.
So we're going to do what we can to be weather aware.
Yeah. All you can do this week really is just be prepared, be weather ready, make sure that family friends are ready to go, and all you can do is weather the storm.
Weather the storm. Is that a pun?
Yes. Pun saying.
On purpose.
Yes, exactly.
Since we are expecting some severe weather this week, I think we should probably just jump straight into what we are kind of taking a look at.
Yeah. That's on the wrong Mac. So give me 2 seconds. We're going to switch that to this one.
What, 12?
Yes, can you go to 12?
I'm on 12.
Thank you
Ready?
so much. Yes, ma'am. So we're looking out through our Piasta CityCam this morning. We're just going to kind of go through what we're seeing today, and then we'll hop into severe weather later this week. Because today also has the opportunity, not for severe weather, but just the potential to cause a little bit of some detriment to plans that you have outside.
Disruptions.
Detriment is not...
that's a fearful word.
Yeah, not fearful today. We're good to go. Really just going to be seeing a few thunderstorms developing. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But Piasta CityCam, cloudy skies, that's what we're really going to be seeing across the area. It's hard to see, but there is some flags waving off in the distance. So that is something that you may be seeing across the area. Let's see here. It's kind of see it over here. You see your flags waving over there. Through our Guttenberg CityCam this morning, we have our Guttenberg cam back, and we're very excited about this.
We were talking about it this morning. Very excited to see the beautiful view from Guttenberg.
Yeah, so off on the right hand of your screen, you can see the tree coming in and out of the view. Gives a pretty good indication there of how gusty it is there in Guttenberg. Even you see the ripples in the water too, so windy there. Cascade also has a really good shot of some flags, and they're whipping this morning.
And can we pull up the Cassville CityCam?
Yes,
just
of course.
For our own enjoyment. Camille and I, I love the CityCam.
I do too.
I love the ferry, and there he is, the pride of Cassville, parked up back from its trip up in Lansing. It was a ferry up there after the Lansing Bridge was down. They'll be contracting another ferry, so that's why this one is back in Cassville. But Camille, every single time this CityCam pops up, you and I have a little bit of a laugh.
Yes.
Because you like to call the ferry a barge.
I like to call the ferry a barge because I know it annoys you slightly.
Well, the first time you did it, you
On air.
definitely...
I did mess it up on air.
And I didn't correct you on air.
No, which
because
is
I wasn't going to do that to you.
appreciated.
But it just, so now every time we see the Pride of Cassville sitting there, the ferry, we get a good chuckle.
Yeah.
And it's very nice to see it back in the city cam.
Truly.
It is. Let's look again. Ah, there he is.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, again, that flag going
Yeah.
out there. It's a windy one.
Yeah, the Mississippi is also pretty, as you can see it on the river too, those ripples. That's just a really, really good indicator of how gusty conditions are. I am going to skip ahead because I have been talking winds. But through this morning and into this afternoon, gusts will reach 40 miles per hour. So it's probably at its peak now.
Okay.
It will calm down a little bit throughout the rest of the afternoon. Still stay gusty about 35 miles per hour. And then through the overnight hours, we do expect that winds will stay breezy, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts potentially will stay breezy too with that. So keeping that in mind, the potential that we don't really get a whole lot of a break from that wind. Expect winds still to stay pretty gusty into tomorrow as well. I'm going to zoom this forward a little bit. There it is, 11 o'clock. Clouds will be remaining in the area. If you look off towards the southwest part of Iowa, we see some showers starting to develop today. Those will start to push in as we head into the afternoon. Few rumbles of thunder possible.
Ooh, 3 o'clock is looking a little rainy.
Little rainy. Yeah, you see a couple of those like heavier spots of rainfall too. Opportunities to get some heavier rainfall, which opportunity for rainfall will be aplenty this week. So something that was actually really, really needed across southeast Iowa. Still seeing drought conditions despite the rain that we've gotten recently. We'll get an updated look of the drought monitor. They update the information on Tuesday and then release the drought monitor on Thursday. So we'll get an idea by Thursday of all the systems up until Tuesday, how much rain falls and how it has helped the area. Through the evening tonight, still seeing shower chances, storm chances, no severe weather expected. Expect a few rumbles of thunder though. Lightning show might be a really cool opportunity tonight to see that, but winds will still stay gusty, so we might see some reduced visibility too with just rain getting blown around. Clouds move out though overnight, but do we want to kind of move on then to what's to come?
I think we do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I think that's the story of the day, is that it's going to be pretty interesting this week.
Yes. So 3 first alert days have been issued already for this week. 2 of those were issued, actually all 3 of these were issued prior to this weekend, and kind of issued, I think, one after another each day, just because we get more and more confident as we get closer to these kinds of events. Storm Prediction Center was getting closer and closer to, or was getting a better understanding of what we could be seeing in this upcoming week. But scattered strong to severe storms are possible. First opportunity, let's look at Monday. Monday morning, starting dry, clouds not really in the area, so we might get to see our sunrise Monday morning. But cloud cover increases, and then we watch far northern Iowa for the opportunity for storm development. There's a term in atmospheric science and meteorology called capping, and capping will decrease the capabilities of a storm being able to be produced in an area. That is something that we are watching on Monday. But if a storm is able, the atmosphere is able to overcome that capping, that's when storm development will happen. That also allows for stronger storms to occur when they do then occur. So it is Monday morning. Expect it not to look this probably widespread. Expect it to be a lot more scattered than this particular model. This is just a model that showed the area that's likely to be affected the best this morning. So far northern Iowa through the evening and overnight hours Monday. Expect damaging winds, large hail from this storm as the primary threat. Isolated tornadic activity can't necessarily be ruled out, especially with the potential of some of these being on the stronger side. But the main and primary threats that we will be focusing on is the damaging winds and large hail from these storms. These continue into Tuesday morning. We're going to also keep an eye on if those storms do occur and how long they stay, because if a storm moves out faster and we are allowed to get some daytime heating, that allows for the atmosphere to gain back that energy that is depleted the day before. It allows for storms to happen and happen stronger. So that would be Tuesday that we're going to keep an eye on, because we have the opportunity to see some showers to start out the morning potentially. But it's that redevelopment later in the afternoon and evening that's going to bring that second round of severe weather to more of eastern Iowa. We're looking at almost all of the TV9 viewing area affected by this storm. These storm will also be bringing damaging winds, large hail, but also a primary threat from this one is going to be tornadic activity. This isn't going to be one of those secondary threats that we're focusing on. It will be one of those more main threats that we will keep an eye on through this storm as it passes through the area. We will just be focusing on that, especially Tuesday, as these storms move through the area. We will then be able to see it continue into the evening and overnight hours on Tuesday. Most of those will have pushed out by Wednesday. But again, it's going to look like a rinse and repeat of the situation that we will be seeing Tuesday morning, of if there's showers still lingering, that does potentially not allow for as much development later in the day, but still the opportunity to get some showers there. Another round will redevelop again Wednesday night, which this storm is a little bit more what I'm going to call finicky, or has been changing from model run to model run in terms of yesterday. It looked way further to the south. It was completely out of the TV9 viewing area. We were still worried about still seeing some showers and storms, but not necessarily the severe threat. That severe threat has moved further to the north as the storm has moved further to the north in the recent model runs this morning. And so that threat is still now going to be there for Wednesday evening, but still we're going to continue to track it. The storm also brings all threat possibilities, large hail, damaging winds, tornadic activity. At this point too, we've now had 5 days of rainfall, and so heavy rain and the potential for some flooding is something that we're going to keep an eye on, because we could see areas of heavy downbursts of rain, and that does lead to the risk of flash flooding throughout this entire period too.
What a week.
Truly. Let's just look at what the Storm Prediction Center has been putting out for the possibility of where we would be seeing some of those risks.
Sure.
Monday, favoring the north, like we had talked about, that possibility of damaging wind, large hail. There we go. Separate the two. Tuesday, Wednesday, opportunities for all threats. That's going to be damaging winds, large hail, tornadic activity, flash flood events, possibly with heavier rainfall totals. Tuesday, more so the TV9 viewing area. Wednesday, just slightly off to the south and east. So it does exclude parts of our northeastern or northwestern viewing area, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're out of the woods and not going to be seeing any activity that night. You will likely still be seeing showers. We are also keeping an eye on Tuesday for the possibility of an upgrade to that slight risk. So that would go from a level 2 out of 5 to a level 3 out of 5, which the reason the Storm Prediction Center would do that is if they see the capabilities of larger hail or more damaging winds or more opportunities for tornadic activity to happen. So
it would go from yellow to orange.
Parts of it would go from yellow to orange, and likely if that happens, we'll likely see where that yellow is expanded slightly potentially, or they're going to start to pinpoint more specific spots with that orange of where that activity would happen.
So I have storm fears.
Yeah.
And I'm very, grateful that you guys have the app that I know that I can get the notification right to my phone. I know that we've got the weather radio set up in the house. So if for some reason I'm not next to my phone, I'm going to get a notification somehow. All good things that you really need to have in your back pocket when we're looking at things like these big swatches of yellow over the area.
Yes. So the best way, and what we recommend as we look ahead towards this week, is make sure that you have a way to receive alerts. Our weather app will give you alerts. Weather radio will give you alerts. And a weather radio, you can't silence like you can silence your phone. The only way you can silence a weather radio is by turning it off. So when it comes to weather radios, if you'll want to make sure those are plugged in, powered on. There's a little switch on the side that says off on. make sure that it's on. You will still get a display if it's plugged in, but that might not mean it's on. Make sure it's on. Make sure it's to whatever you want it to be, whether that's the tones or the voice. If you have questions, please feel free to call. We are more than happy to walk you through that process of making sure that your radios are ready to go. If you weren't able to see us yesterday, app again, we will also be live streaming these events when there is activity happening across Eastern Iowa. Say Monday night, some of those storms don't end up developing like some of the forecasts potentially are saying that they might not. Then we might not be on the streaming. But Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty good opportunities for us to catch us on streaming. To get that, also on our First Alert Weather app. All you got to do is on the main page when it pops up, scroll all the way to the bottom, and it will have the news live stream and also have our 24/7 First Alert Weather Plus live stream. Our live streams currently happen on the TV9 live stream page, and so that's where you'll be able to see us and our the First Alert Weather team streaming if we are there.
And you know, Joe said something really interesting yesterday while you guys were out at the weather radio programming event that I never thought of, because again, my weather radio is set up in our bedroom just in case it's the middle of the night and something needs to wake me up to alert me. It's a good place to keep it. The batteries are, that battery backup in case power goes out, but he's mentioned unplugging it, and if you have to go to your safe space, taking the radio with you, which is a great idea.
It is a really great idea to just be able to unplug it. If you do unplug it, the radios will be using those batteries consistently, and so when you unplug it, those batteries only last 1 to 2 days. So it is important that if you do end up unplugging it, and for a longer period of time, that you check those batteries and replace them, or if they're rechargeables, then you recharge them and replace them.
No, yeah, a lot of good information to have. But it's not just the next 3 days.
No.
We're there. We have like the 9-day pulled up in the little preview monitor.
We'll pull it up for you guys now.
Oh,
So storms today.
so much rain.
First alert days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All of those first alert days are because of severe weather chances. Then Thursday, we're dry. So here's the sunny side up forecast.
The sunny side up is take your hands and block out both halves of the 9-day and only look at Thursday.
Be prepared for those days that you're blocking.
Yeah, don't actually block them out, but if you want just the sunny side up forecast,
That's where you're going to get it.
yeah.
But honestly, Thursday's not looking all that bad. Mid to upper 70s. That puts us about 15 degrees above where we should be. Not bad.
Yeah.
Friday, though, the Storm Prediction Center has already highlighted the potential for some severe weather across eastern Iowa. It is something that we are going to also be watching here in the TV9 Weather Lab. Likely we'll give you, actually not likely, we will be giving you that update tonight, either with AJ or if you join us tomorrow, Justin, Joe, or Corey, or myself will be in, and we'll be keeping an eye on that storm. And potentially, if we still see in future runs that storm could potentially be severe, we will be issuing yet another first alert day for Friday.
Well, 'tis the season. I mean, it is severe weather season. This happens, every spring in Iowa. So,
And April is typically one of our more active months.
yeah, that's very true. Make sure you've got, your survival kit. It's not what I want to say.
Survival kit's more winter because that goes in your car.
But
yes.
a box of good stuff in the basement.
Yeah, make sure you have non-perishable items.
Yeah.
You make sure you have bottles of water. If you have pets, make sure you have a couple days worth of food for your pets.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have an old kind of bad pair of shoes just down in their basement, because if unfortunately your house gets destroyed in a storm, you need to have shoes to be able to get out. A lot of people kind of don't think about it in the moment, which is totally fine, but then just keep a shoes that you don't really wear often or don't really care about down in your basement and down in your safe space.
Yeah.
And so that way you have shoes that you can put on if you need to get out of your space.
No, it's all good tips to have, all things that I'm sure a lot of Iowans, have set up in their basement already, even if it's been down there for 10 years. At least you've got something. Make sure you kind of put something together if you can, because this week, that's a lot of red.
Yes, yeah, it's going to be active, and we'll be here. First Alert Storm Team is here giving you updates when we know them, and the latest we can. So stay tuned with us. We'll give you those updates when we can get them.
Keep us as safe as possible.
True.
What else do we have going on today, Camille? I know, we talk about how terrible the weather can be.
Yes.
But it's not all bad.
No.
Sunny side up, there are things to do.
Truly. And we try to get a look on the sunny side, and maybe this is a part of what your opportunity to do some sunny side up activities are today, just if you're feeling a little down about what's to come. Maybe. If you're out in the Ames area, which I know is kind of a hike, but happening today at noon, it's first pitch for Iowa State softball. Oklahoma State is there today at the Cyclone Sports Complex. They're going to be getting some rain showers, not necessarily that storm potential. We're seeing storms here in eastern Iowa, though. 70s, though, there too. So very similar to what will be here across eastern Iowa. So this event is something that I was super excited to come across.
Yeah, you were talking about. So
Yeah.
to preference, the Coralville Fire Department is having a pancake breakfast today until noon. So you still got an hour and a half to get out there-ish and support them. And Camille, you were saying your mother
Yeah.
is a firefighter?
My mom was previously was a firefighter.
Okay, sure.
And so her fire department would do chicken dinners throughout the year to raise money, because unfortunately a lot of fire stations aren't able to get some of the equipment, like some of the additional equipment that is, they can get, taxpayers obviously pay the taxes and so you get the equipment that they need, but there's sometimes specialty equipment that a station will be looking for. And so this offers the opportunity for those stations to raise funds for those more specialty equipment items.
Sure.
So something that my mom's fire department, when I was helping out with them, they were able to get a heat thermal camera to be able to help with fire situations.
Something that you really don't think about.
No.
It's very interesting.
Yes.
So pancakes, sausage, eggs, coffee, juice. The cost of admission is a free will donation to the fire department to be able to help afford some of those things that you might not think of.
Yeah, and if you're down there, you can ask the firefighters. I'm sure they are more than happy to share what their funds are going to or what they might be raising money for, because it's a great way to just support the people that help you in your kind of emergency situations.
Right, 'cause you never know when you're going to need their help.
Yep, truly. Another great opportunity to get out and support a local community. The 5K run and walk is happening today at Knoll Ridge Park in Cedar Rapids. There is a link to be able to register, so that's on their Facebook page to be able to register. But it's it benefits and is organized by Hope in Motion, and it's a community organized 5K honoring Abby Smith for her birthday and her legacy, which is just a really awesome opportunity.
And I was just checking their Facebook page to make sure nothing had been put out about any cancellations. And I haven't seen anything yet, so I think we're still good to go for the 5K. Always a good thing to keep an eye on, though, Facebook pages of some of these events in case a storm rolls through or something happens to maybe need to postpone for a little bit. But as of right now, we're still good to go from 2 to 4 at Knoll Ridge. So, great stuff.
All right, it's a great weekend to just get out, maybe shop local.
Oh, yeah.
Support local, maybe your firefighters, maybe it's just the community in general.
Good stuff to do. It's time for our feel-good story of the week. One of them. I had another one yesterday. This one is kind of cheesy, but I love it.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Neato craze?
I haven't heard of Neatos until I had met you.
That's not a good sign.
No, I just had never heard of them before, and you have one on your desk.
Yeah, I keep one. It's my, I think it's called a Nice Cube is the little one I have. Wait, how do the influencers do it? Is that right?
There we go, yes.
I am a very fidgety person, always have been, so I have a lot of these little things in my desk and like stress toys and things like that. I'm constantly playing with at my desk. I'm sure I annoy a lot of people around me because they're not quiet. I mean, they make a weird, like,
but they're silent
squishy
enough
noise.
that people wear their headphones in the newsroom.
That's true. I'm not annoying everybody.
Yeah.
But so recently, these little things went viral on the internet. Now I can't find them anywhere because everyone else is buying them. But our own Emily Schrod went down to a small business in the eastern Iowa area who was selling these, and since they've gone so viral on the internet, people are just about flocking to these small businesses to support them purposefully while also kind of getting their viral Nido fix.
It's just so amazing.
It is, because we always talk about supporting local.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how something so viral and so small, I mean, it's a little squishy cube, but how it can benefit a business in our community.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull this up, and you can hear from Emily Schrod on the Nido craze.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
They're basically like stress balls, but they're full of fun stuff.
Nidos are the latest toy craze, and people lined up down the street just for a chance to grab one. 223 Baby Co. in Iowa City held a drop on Thursday, and the line stretched down the block.
And just to see that many people from the community come out and like wait in line for hours to get into our store was really, really cool.
Manager Amanda Campbell says it's not just kids hopping on the trend.
It's kids, grandmas, like college girls. They're like our favorite too, because they'll be so excited. They're like, I just passed my test and I just needed to reward myself with a Nido, which is cute.
Campbell says they've had the toys in stock for a while, but it wasn't until after it started going viral on social media that the store saw an increase in demand.
TikTok, probably social media. It's cool to see like how fast social media can help a small business.
Abby Hoyt is a freshman at the University of Iowa. She says she had her boyfriend stand in line to grab her a few at Thursday's drop because she couldn't make it. She says for students like her, Nidos are more than just a toy.
I just like them because it's like a fun thing to fidget with in class. It's very like stress relieving. I think like especially for college kids, they're just really nice to have and to play with for anxiety, for stress relief, all of that.
Campbell says the store's owner is working to get more Nido toys in stock soon. But in the meantime, she says they're grateful for the continued community support.
I had a couple girls say, I would just much rather give my money to you guys, you know, because it goes right back into the community and it's not just going, you know, up the ladder. So it really is cool to see.
In Iowa City, Emily Schrod, KCRG TV9 News.
It's so cool to see because she said it herself, you know, you've got college kids coming in and saying, I'd much rather spend my money here than somewhere else, in some bigger store that you might be able to find these. But yeah, lines down the street. I know I saw another post from, I think it was the Honey Den in West Branch. Wow. They were selling these and they had a big line. I think they did their drop yesterday. So it's not just Iowa City, you know, it's a lot of these small businesses that people are coming out to support while also kind of hopping on their viral trend. And you can't find these anymore.
Right.
Like you cannot go into a store and just be like, I'll get my stress cube of the day. Now I got this one a while ago. This was like a year ago. Somebody actually gifted me this and I still play with it and it's kind of falling apart. But I also have the big cube. Maybe I'll bring the big cube in someday. It kind of hurts though because it's a little stiff. It hurts my hands.
Yeah.
Are you a stress ball fan at all?
No, but I should be. I just have worse habits that I have instead, and so I should have a stress ball or something. Yeah. But my rings, a lot of times I will play with my rings or just spin them on my fingers or pull them on and off. That's how I kind of keep my hands busy when I'm a little bit more maybe stressed out. But that'd be a good option maybe.
And I can't find them right now. You might need to wait a little bit because they are full out in most places. It's just about 10:30. Should we give them one last look at the 9-day, just to be prepared?
Yep.
What are we on, 12? Yes.
There we go.
We are. There you go.
Your 9-day forecast today, shower storms later this afternoon, early evening hours. Those push through. No severe weather expected today. 80s still return for Monday, Tuesday, along with opportunities for some severe weather. Northern Iowa, main impact area. Damaging winds, large hail Monday. Tuesday, it's all of eastern Iowa. So is Wednesday too. All impacts, damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadic activity is possible both those days as well. Dry Thursday, so get out, enjoy it. Warmer temperatures. If you can pick one day off this week and you want to take that day off, Thursday's going to be the best day probably for it. Friday, we are going to keep an eye on for the possibility of severe weather yet again returning to eastern Iowa.
Busy week,
Very
lot
much
going
so.
on. Keep your raincoats, your umbrellas, your rain boots, everything in your car, because you're going to need it.
Yeah, very much.
That's all the time we have for today for this edition of Sunny Side Up. We will be back next weekend, of course. Until then, have a great Sunday and try to look on the sunny side.